Mr. Scary Studios. Number 1.
Hi, this is my first time posting, so if there's something I can do to improve this post, please let me know. Just to give some background, I am a girl about 8 when this happened, so my sister and I were playing together in our backyard when this adult man approached the fence and called us over. Being young and dumb, we went over to the edge of the fence to talk to him. He said that his daughter was missing, and he wants us to help him find her. My sister and I were kinda confused as to why he would want 2 children that he didn't even know to help him find his own child. When we asked him this, he said that his daughter would be more willing to come out of hiding if there were other children with him. He then asked us again to come with him, but we said we should ask our dad first and ran inside. We didn't tell anyone what happened because we thought we did something wrong, and we didn't play outside again for a while. Looking back on it, I find it really hard to believe he had a missing child, and am pretty sure he was just trying to lure us out for whatever sick reason. So creepy guy who claims to have a missing daughter, let's not meet again.
Number 2.
My uncle was always off. His eyes never looked right. My grandmother, not his mother, when I was a baby told her to keep me away from him. My mom knew he never looked at us right and always protected my siblings, and my uncle made my skin crawl and always tried to hug me and press me against him. He has a history of stealing from my grandparents. Even when my grandmother got so sick, she couldn't say anything. My bedroom window faces out to my grandparents' driveway, where my uncle lives. There are motion lights, and I can usually come to see home late due to seeing my boyfriend or friends, and after work was the only time I could. I always had this horrible feeling and would make whoever dropped me off watch me walk inside the front door. Call it instinct. Now, when I got home, the motion lights would go off, and I just thought it was my grandpa coming home. He runs a business. I caught him peering in my bedroom door at me changing, so I told my mom. My mom misheard me though and thought I said bedroom window, so she confronted him. He admitted to it and said I peer in her window to make sure she's okay because she comes home late with her friends, and I wanted to make sure her and her friends are okay. He's always been watching me, change or do whatever. Let's never meet again, you fucker. Probably cross-posting and illegal advice because I'm fucking terrified he's going to get me. He has a gun.
Number 3.
Hello everybody, my name is Brandon. I turned 10 today. 10, that means double digits and double allowance. But what will I do with all this allowance, you might say? Well, I've been searching online on my dad's computer. I found this thing called a Tor browser. He had it hidden away. How weird. Anyway, I got on the browser and a web page that was already pulled up. It was something about children. I can't read that well. And then it said blonde hair. How funny. I have blonde hair. Bright blue eyes. My mom says that they are special. Short stubby nose. I fell once. It really hurt. Is 10. I looked at the browser some more, and there was a picture of me. I looked so cute. I was riding the bike I got for my birthday, and there was also some comments. He would be perfect for our family. I'll give you $2,000. That's a lot for a bicycle, my dad had commented under it. Sure, I'll message you my address, and you can come pick him up. 8/12/2016. Huh, that's today. Oh no, my dad's coming. He says he wants to get ice cream, guys. I'll see you later. Maybe we can figure out this mystery.
Number 4.
I think I found it. They had been looking for a geocache for 15 minutes when Paul heard Angie call out. She had already begun to dig around the large rock that was wedged between the ground and the roots of an old tree. Kneeling down, he began to pull on the rock as she continued to dig underneath it. After a moment, Paul was able to wrench the rock free. Setting it aside, he began to dig into the dirt. Finally, Paul's fingers felt cold metal, and with an excitedly yelp, he wiggled the catch free. It was an old cash box that looked like it was more rust than metal. Paul flicked it open. Holy shit, the first thing that Paul saw was an old yellowed piece of paper that wasn't what he had caused Angie so much astonishment. Underneath the paper there was money, a lot of money, all rolled into fat cylinders and bound with rubber bands. As Paul picked one up, the rubber band disintegrated and the cylinder uncoiled slowly. He could only see that there were only $100 bills. Angie had grabbed the yellowed paper and was looking at it. As she read, her brow furrowed. "Read this, Paul." He put the box down on the ground and took the paper into his hands. The short message was written in pencil, which had faded with time, was still legible. Tried to take money, but didn't know. Needed to leave something. Price too high. Not worth it. "Ooh, spooky," Paul snorted. "Come on, Paul, that's seriously fucked up. It's a joke. Someone is trying to mess with people." He tried, but couldn't hide the feeling of unease that was now beginning to overtake him. It was as if someone had cracked a cold egg in the pit of his stomach, and the icy ooze was spreading throughout his body. "It's a lot of money. We should just take it." Angie didn't sound very confident. Yeah, I don't care what some asshole says anyways." Paul got up, making sure to help Angie to her feet. She turned towards the way that they had come. They were deep in the woods, but they could get back to their car in an hour if they kept up a good pace. She bent over to pick up the box. "This is crazy. Who just leaves a box of..." But before she finished her thought, the rock came down on the back of her head. She crumbled to the ground. The box fell open, bundles of money rolling outward. Paul brought the rock down 6 more times before he was satisfied that she wouldn't be getting back up. He felt the cold disappear from the pit of her stomach as he calmly gathered the money and put it back into the box. After all, like the note said, if he was going to take the cash, he needed to leave something behind.
Number 5.
"Come join us," came the whisper of something through the portal in the middle of the dark, scary night. The portal was black in color and was situated deep inside the forest. I had originally come here to the forest to end my life. I had lost my kids and my girlfriend in a car crash last week. I had enough and just wanted to end my life. I fell on the ground, weak and in sorrow. A voice came from the portal and called me. "Honey, it's me. We're safe in here. Come join us." I looked up and saw my family, standing, waiting, and looking at me through the portal. I became a little bit cheerful, like the feeling of meeting a childhood friend after years of not talking to them. I got up and walked slowly towards the portal. The room which I was teleported to was just plain white. Saw my family in front of me, waving their hands. I walked towards them slowly. They started fading away. As soon as I tried to grab them, they vanished. I fell on the floor, not knowing what to do. I looked back to see if there was a way out. To my horror, the portal wasn't there. I'm now stuck here for eternity. This happened to my mom about 1 year ago. My mom and I had to go to the grocery shopping. Usually, whenever my mom would ask me if I wanted to go with her, I would say no. Today, however, I said yes. The parking lot has a lane thing that you can follow to get into the section of the parking lot along the left side of the store. We get there. There is a white truck parked on the right side of the lane I mentioned. We passed the truck, which we see has a man in it. We don't think much of it, even though you are usually really not supposed to park there. We get out and walk along the side of the store. We see the man get out of the truck. That was when I noticed that he was older, 50s or 60s maybe, and had a large gray beard. He was also super tall and slightly overweight. I was 6 feet, no inches tall at the time, and he was taller than I was. We turn the corner and head towards the front of the store. He walks towards us and starts to point and yell in our direction. I don't even remember what exactly. Something about us cutting him off. We didn't. He was parked when we passed him, and he didn't have his blinker on to signal that he wanted to get back into the lane of the cars. I know there would be trouble. I felt it. He blocked us off from getting into the store. There are a few people walking in and out of the store, but no one does anything. I wasn't doing anything either, though. I will never forgive myself for the way I stood behind my mom. I never said a word. She argued with the man. I knew I should have stepped in front, but I didn't. I wanted to, but I didn't. My mom is only 5 feet and about 4 inches tall. It was beginning to look worse and worse. The man was coming closer to my mom, while I watched pathetically. That was when the other man stepped in. He came out from the bottle return room and stood right in between the man and my mom. He told the man to leave, and he did. He got in his truck and left. We finished shopping. About half an hour later, we were still shaken up. We came out to the store. The good man came up to us to ask if we were okay. We said we were and thanked him. Since then, I haven't forgotten how I stood and left my mom in a dangerous situation. I have promised myself that it will never happen again. I will also never forget the man who stood up for my mother like I should have. I don't know his name, but I can tell he was a good man. I hope to meet you again someday, Good Samaritan. I would love to thank you again. As for the road raging for no reason that I could see, old man, let's not meet again for your sake, because I will never not defend my mom like I did that day again.